So what do you do when you want to talk about something that's kind of hard to a group of people? I think that a lot of people will tell you you want to build a level of trust. You want to be personable. You want to be, you know, kind of likable and just forthgoing and honest. So in an effort to you know be as forthcoming as possible, I've assembled a bit of a council committee here. We have a bit of a council going on, and I guess that they will weigh my words against a feather here, and they will be the judge of my character, and then I think that can build a level of security with you, and also we're implementing a brand new feature to the console. See, we're bringing in the Fugazi Bathial plush here. All right, she only has one eye, so this is not lore accurate. This is important to know. Just try and fucking hide it. All right, so we're bringing in the Fugazi Bathial plush, and people will say, "Why are you doing this, Matrek?" People often ask me this. Well, it's because she has a very important job to do. I'm gonna give her this. This is like a YouTube video stopwatch, and every 2 minutes, I'm gonna be pulling out some of my prized possessions to show you all, so that you can all see um, what Matrak is made of. Let's say that what Matrak is made of here, and hopefully this will build a level of trust, and it'll be something to do while I talk about this. So. Yeah, baby. There we go. Okay, so every 2 minutes we'll do something cool for you. Um, or it might not be cool. It's probably gonna get pretty repetitive, but um, I want to talk about Fatsona Breakout Alpha One, and this is why there's this council committee. This is why I want to um have a level of trust and personability here because um, 2025 has been kind of fucked for Fatsona Breakout. Um, it's been extremely productive. A lot of work has been done. Also, I'm sorry about my voice in advance. I totally blew out my vocal cords, and um, you probably hear it. It's probably agitating, but yeah, 2025 has been it's been kind of fucked for Alpha One. Now, a lot of work has been done, um, but a lot of plans were reconsidered at very rough times, and there were many circumstances during this year where um, things were about to happen, and then it pivoted, and the way that I communicated it with you guys was not great. It was really not. It was really not great. So, I guess we could start at the start of 2025, and then we could kind of work our way up to where we're at now, and we could talk about how to go forward a little bit. Um, so on February 22nd of this year, 2024, or no, 2025, sorry, um, it was the fourth anniversary for Fatsona Breakout as a project. That was kind of when I officially revealed it to the public, revealed that I'm working on this game. Um, and funny enough, my vocal cords were absolutely blown at the time as well. So I got Kit Shock to read out the plans for 2025, and we're 2 minutes in. So let's start. All of these are Pokemon cards, by the way. So I'm just gonna show off some of my favorite Pokemon cards. This is probably my favorite card. Lugia is one of my favorite Pokemon. I loved Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, so I like this. I like this intense look for Lugia, and it's by Kawayu, the artist, who is my favorite Pokemon card artist, and I just think I think it's lovely. Okay, is this gonna get old? So yeah, let's take it back. So Kid Shock did the plans for 2025 um video on this channel. He had done the voiceover for that because my vocals were um kind of like they are now. And in that video, what I had written out and what I had planned was that the first half of 2025 would see the release of Fatsona Breakout Alpha 1. And then the second half would be committed to other projects and Hackway and that sort of stuff. Um, Now, I wanna make something really clear. Whenever I communicate plans, they are my full intention. It is not me just hoping and praying and launching it into the universe. I orient real life around that. I orient my schedule around that. This is my job, and I take it a little seriously. Also, I meant to bring out this Lugia when I showed up the other Lugia. That's okay. You could go back there. He missed his time. He missed his time. That's okay. Um, but whenever I make plans, they are my full intention, and I put a lot of thought and effort into it. So it's really embarrassing for me when things don't plan out. It makes me come off as careless, or at least I feel I do. But I guess kind of working off of the want to get it out. These are two beautiful blonde girls. Let's just admit it. I got this from a local game store. They're just so beautiful. Okay. Um, so in my pursuit and dedicated focus of releasing Alpha 1 in the first half of 2025, we got to a point around June, so pretty decent on timing, it's smack dab in the middle. Um, got to a point in June where I had started a series on Patreon going over the road to Alpha 1. Because I felt at that point it was kind of wrapping up. A lot had been made for the game, and things were coming along really promisingly. So I started doing the Road to Alpha 1, and this concluded towards the end of July. I believe I also had announced during the Road to Alpha 1 that July 24th was going to be the release date of Alpha 1. But as I worked on the game through June, through July, um, the series of very frequent blog updates ended July 21st, and this was to share my plans for releasing the game, releasing Alpha 1 as it was. And the plan was to, as I am assembling the stuff that is needed, like promotion and like front end stuff, um, like the interfaces that players would interact with, those specific things that haven't been fully touched up. I was going to start drawing more, and I was going to start putting more effort into the account to kind of revitalize it and put some wind behind the sails as I release this massive project that I've been working on for years, and this huge step in it. Um, this is this is a Japanese Bubble Mew, and we can all admit this is the cutest card made. Just like it's so cute. We can all admit that. Um, so this is stupid as fuck. Um, okay. Oh my God, I can't even like edit out when I'm like hesitating or like sniffling or anything because of the timer. It's gonna look fucking stupid. Um, where was I? Oh, it's a disaster. It's a disaster. I'm guilty as charged, guys. You can fucking take me in. You can prosecute me all you want. So, my apologies for that. Um, the intention was to drum up some activity on the account in preparation for release of Alpha 1. Because up until that point in 2025, I hadn't been drawing much, and I had also paused doing commissions in general, so that I could dedicate all that time to finishing the update. And it got to a point where the update was almost done, and I could start doing art again and focusing on other things. And it just so happened that shortly thereafter, 10 days after, to be approximate, um, over 30 of my biggest pieces of art got deleted off of DeviantArt, which is my main kind of website almost. And this happened while I was away, so I couldn't really handle it then. And this came at a time where I wanted to drum up attention on my account, and I wanted to start making more art, and suddenly a bunch of art just got fucking exploded away. So I believe this is a Korean Reshiram special illustration rare, also by Kawaii. favorite artists. This was actually polled on stream with one of my best friends, who's also a lovely artist in this community. You should check him out at Soft Central. Beautiful, beautiful work. Um, this is so distracting. Why did I think this was a good idea? Um, so I was away on a trip. Over 30 pictures got deleted during a time where I wanted to motivate the account a little more. So it kind of felt like a huge setback. And when I got back from the trip, instead of being able to work on um, the alpha and finish it out as I had intended, I was kind of forced to have a little bit of a pause here and figure out how to proceed. And if you keep up with my account, if you kind of follow, then you'll know what happened. I went ahead and made a public Discord server with an archive of every single picture that I've made. And assembling this server took way longer than I thought. There's almost 1,000 images that had to be recovered in full HD for it, organizing the channels, getting all the preparations ready, um, and then just launching a server of this size, making like promotions for that as well. That ended up taking a lot of time, and following that, I kind of felt like I needed to play catch up with my original intentions of making more art to drum up the account. So I went ahead with the Kiriko vs. Juno challenge. I started doing more commissions more frequently. I did a couple large paintings with like a focus on dynamic art, fully rendered art. All right, let me put aside what I've shown already. All right, this is for you Gardevoir freaks, okay? So this is from my old collection before I started collecting again. These are the Radiant Collection Full Art Gardevoir and Mega Gardevoir EX, and oh, I find it so lovely. I love that they have the shiny Mega Gardevoir EX too. They're they're lesbian lovers. It's amazing. Okay. All right, if you're a Gardevoir freak type, I love gay Gardevoir in chat. Okay. Um, so I had assembled the server. Took a lot of time. Went back to doing art. Um, before you knew it, or before I really knew it, August had flown by, and it was starting to become the end of the year. I consider September to kind of be the start of the end of the year. And it was approaching a point where I had said that this was wrapping up months ago. And as I started to think about the priorities of this game and the best way to put out this game, it started making less and less sense for me to proceed like this. I feel like I had the flash in the pan moment where I could have done it, and then things got in the way. And then things started to change. Because the way that the alpha was going to be released was kind of strange. It was going to be parsed into one part story and one part bonus content because there was a thought earlier in the year, earlier along in the development, before June, that it is kind of strange to have Chihaya and Kawakami, who are later stage characters in the game. This is the cool Groudon card with a big volcano in the back. I think it's kind of cool. I pulled this twice. I feel really good about it. It's really cool. Um, Chihaya and Kawakami are later stage characters in the game, in the overall game story. Okay, okay, wait, let me back up a little bit. So, the original plan for Alpha 1, when I named it Alpha 1, was to add Anne and Chahaya's full story. Chahaya's story had been completed a long time ago by Kitshock, and the way that I was working on the game at the time, when something was done, it was kind of elevated and pushed to the forefront. Now, Alpha One had taken on a lot more develop and a lot more development since then, and had developed a lot narratively. The vision of the full game had expanded narratively, and I wanted to emphasize that more and grant more to Alpha One to kind of support that. Um, so what I had done is I had planned Futaba and Kawakami to be added because Kawakami's story was already finished and Futaba's design was already finished. So That is what the plan was going into 2025, was that it would be Anne, Chihaya, Kawakami, and Futaba stories. Um, but then it became apparent that that would be really strange because um, this is a story game. The full vision of the game is a long story game, and it would be really, really strange and kind of cannibalistic and redundant to keep on adding later stage characters as they are finished to the game. Now, what this resulted in was me deciding to cut Kawakami from the alpha. I wanted to keep Jahaya in, but this also planned how future alphas would develop because the original plan was to put out two or three additional alphas following Alpha 1. I pulled this on Destin Rivals release weekend with my girlfriend, my lovely girlfriend, who is also blonde. And in a way, this is her and this is me. I am the Garchomp EX here. Okay. All right. Let's clear the air. I know there's been rumors. Um. So, man, this is so off the cuff. This is so amateurish. I apologize. I thought this would have been like a 10-minute video maybe. I only have a few more cards to show off, so I hope that I could uh kind of just speed it up here. Now, man, where was I? Okay. Did you guys hear that? I don't know what just happened. That was kind of weird. I think Did you guys hear that? Okay, that's like a minute gone. So, where were we at? I'd cut Kawakami because it would be kind of reductive to have players play this in an alpha and then I don't know when the full game came out you get 20 hours into it and then it's like an unskippable Kawakami cutscene that you've already seen. You know what I mean? It kind of sucks. Um, and the plan was to do all the characters like this up until launch. Have every character kind of be added as they're done, and it started to not make sense. So Chihaya was held on as sort of a compromise, um, but it was decided that Kawakami would be cut, and more of a focus would be put into the characters that are early game enough to be in sequence with the story, where it wouldn't be so weird to feature them beforehand, which would be Haru and Futaba, which are the first three characters planned to be done in the progression of the full game. So, um, the plans going into June of this year. This is a Nido King EX special illustration rare. This is Nido King's first cool card, um, since I guess like his break card, which was over 10 years ago. So I was so delighted when they showed that off. Um, I love Nido King. He's my boy. Um, when I'm sorry, this whole section is miserable. You guys could leave a dislike and you guys could block me as well. If you'd like to block me, that's okay. It's a technique. Fuck you, Bethial. I'm pausing this. I need to get through this thought. Okay, we'll resume. We'll resume the game. I need to get through this thought. We can't keep chopping it up in 2 minute blocks. This is a singular thought. Okay. What I had done going into June, in light of this kind of revelation that putting late games characters at in this alpha would kind of fuck over the final release of the game as a story game. Um, what I started to do was focus more on what is going on. What are we doing? I started to focus more on the first three characters and that actual progression of the story. So I had written other narrative stuff that was not planned for the alpha originally to be included. I started developing the characters and the plot lines more, and the plan was to split Alpha 1 into a kind of story track mode and a free play mode that had Chihaya's story and some other game modes, and then the story mode would be a kind of slice of the first act of the game. Um, but as this kind of became the development motive, and as things got pushed back because of other account stuff, it started to become weirder and weirder why it was being done like this. And as more and more time was added on to Alpha 1's tenure as an update, the need to do a really good first impression grew more and more in my mind. And I started thinking about the future of the alpha updates. I started to think about what Alpha 2 might look like, what Alpha 3 might look like. Could I even do an Alpha 3? It was planned that Alpha 2 would only have two other characters. It would have Kawakami and Takemi, and that would be it. And then it would go on to the full release of the game because I didn't want to cannibalize any more of the story content. And it happens that those two characters are the ones that are kind of done. But because that is what was planned, that is just planning more on the side of the alpha that wasn't really making any more sense. It was new additions to the free play mode, and it just didn't make any sense to me. It started making sense to develop more on the story, more of this story that is actually for the final game. It is the slice of the final game story. It is the slice of this first act, and it became clear to me that that would be the best way to make a good impression. That would be the best way to show a marked progress on this game. If I start actually working on the final developed game like that. Because I never worked on it like an alpha. I've never tried. I've never tried. That's the sentence, guys. This is gonna be miserable unedited. But I have no time. This is the second to last day before the end of the year, and I was like, oh, I gotta do a 2025 recap with my fucking voice like this. I'll start over. I never really thought about the most optimized way to do an alpha release, which would be work in progress content. Um, all of the renders that I do are extremely detailed. They all have sketches that uh, are produced for them, which I could use. Like if it was truly like a work in progress early alpha thing, I could just throw that in. The stories are deeply considered and they take a lot of time. Um, I mean, certainly there is still some amateurish elements, but with the way I was working on Alpha 1, refining everything, um, adding animations and stuff, adding like feeding mini games and stuff, it was really not feeling like an alpha level of work, if that makes sense. Especially not like something named such as Alpha 1. And the intention was always to impress and delight, and there's impressive and delightful things, but I think that it's gotten to a point where, thank you, computer, it's gotten to a point where Alpha 1 just doesn't make sense in a way of being named it and being presented as it, being put up on a storefront. It doesn't make sense to still have this piecemeal version of the game when there is this other version of the game included in that, which is a slice of the final game. And if that's the way I'm already working, why don't I try to push forward? Why don't I try to do that? I always work quicker when I work on new stuff. I always work more motivated when I'm working on new characters or new features. So why don't I emphasize that? Why don't I go for that? This is kind of my thoughts in September, October, and it was around this time that I mean, I was still working on the update. I was still wanting to get out Alpha 1. Um, there was a short private campaign I did called Release Me, and it featured the Alpha 1 logo spinning to Sigma from Overwatch screaming his Release Me line when he gets nano boosted. Um, and I would watch this every day, and then I would work for maybe 10, 11, 13 hours a day, doing nothing but work on the update. But man, when I have a thought that I know is right, it is hard to ignore. And weighing that against what I had said to the community, when my computer just said, weighing that against everything, I knew that short selling the game at this point would suck. So it would also kind of handicap the future of the game, is what I was thinking. So I announced it in the 1st of December, but there's not going to be Fatsona Breakout for a while. And Alpha 1 is not going to be coming out in the form that I have talked about. You could probably infer what form it might take from what I've said in this video, but I don't want to share details until it's done because I don't want to start any new expectations if I'm not ready to deliver on them again, or I don't know what's gonna come ahead, but I've worked really hard on this and I've found a lot of success so far. This retread of strategy. So we can resume this again. I think it's been like, oh man, it's been quite a while since it's been on. Oh, I'm sweating. This room is hot as hell. Um, I want to say thank you to everybody for all of the patience and all of the attention. And I'm sorry that I've let you down when it comes to Alpha 1. Um, Genuinely, I care about this a lot. And um, as a guy who wants to put out exciting projects and wants to talk about them, I don't want this reputation that I've earned where I say something and then it just doesn't happen. Um, so I'm going to be careful with the information I give about what's next for Fatsona. It is absolutely not getting canned. I've put so much of my heart into this game, and I'm so excited. I'm more excited now than ever about it. Um, Despite how I may sound, how my voice may sound, or any sort of somber undertone in this video. Okay, why is it doing that? um, I'm excited about it, and I think it's the right way to move forward. It's the best way to make a good first impression. It's the best way to ensure the future of the game, and it's the best way to serve the final vision of the game truthfully. Um, and I think that the way I'm thinking about it now ensures that you guys will see the final thing, which I think will be very special. So this is a threefer. These are the Ancient Origins shiny full art cards, shiny mega primal full art cards. Ridiculous cards. I love these cards, man. Like I look at this and this is like white guy gold. You know what I mean? I look at this. This is white guy gold. I'm I'm appalled. Um, I only have one more showcase to do, but I think that I've said mostly everything I want to do because I don't know, paused it for however long, 10 minutes, I don't know. Um, but uh, yeah, I, I, I really, I appreciate the support and the attention, but um, I don't want to solely trust, and I don't want to fuck around with you guys anymore. I don't want to fuck around with expectations or anything like that. I don't want to betray you guys anymore. I don't want you guys to feel tormented trying to follow this game. So I will say that things are going very well, and most of what I set out to do is done. Um, so hopefully there will be motion in the ocean before, I don't know, the sky burns out. But um, Fatsona A1 is the next step for Fatsona, and I think that it is better than Alpha 1 ever would be, and its legacy is going to be way more important than Alpha 1. It is an evolution of the update, and we're at 20 minutes. So I wanted to save this showcase for last. Um, we got these two cards, and my old school teacher actually traded me these cards. I don't remember what for. I was a fucking tater tot, but um, two of my most special cards in my collection. It's very historied. Now, I want to talk about why I'm showing you all these fucking Pokemon cards, right? Um, of all of these, here, I'll get a huge lump pile. Now, these are just a few. These are just a few. I have multiple hundreds of binders, or multiple binders with hundreds of cards in it. I've gotten super into collecting lately. I'm a big pokey guy. Here, Lugia, you can come out. You're all right. You're all right, Lugia. Bathial, shut that shit off. Um, so from this pile, these are also quite valuable cards. From this pile, these are the ones that I had. These are the ones that I already had, and these are the ones that I've been able to purchase one way or another, either pulling them or buying them outright, since about a year, 2 years from now, or 2 years ago. And every single one of these cards I bought with money that came from the support from Patreon, or Itch, or Melanie card stuff. But that's from you guys. I imagine a lot of you watching this video, or who have cared to stick around for however long this video is, have supported me before or are still supporting me. And the Patreon was kind of founded off of the purpose of funding Alpha One. This Haru plushie, this Haru mouse, commissioning the Bathial plushie, the Haru Figma, her hat, um, this iPad I'm using to record it on. This is money that you guys have given me. And I feel bad not being able to give back to you guys, not being able to give you Fatsona. And I'm sorry that Alpha 1 didn't pan out like I thought it would so many times. If you asked me what would happen with Alpha 1 a year ago, I would have said with full confidence that it would be out. And it's not. And it's not going to come out. Alpha 1 is not happening. It's totally different now. It's a new thing. And I apologize that I haven't been able to deliver that to you guys. I'm sorry that I said that I would, and I didn't. And I mean, it's that simple, really. You guys prop me up, you guys support me, you guys believe in me, and I feel like, in some regards, I let you down. But I will say, I got something really special cooking up. Okay, I'm so proud of Fatsona Breakout. I've said multiple times it is my primary goal with this account, and I mean that. I really, really mean that. I think that the vision of the game, the final version of this release, will be something that this community hasn't really seen before. And in a lot of respects, um, I'm kind of doing too much. Uh, thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, uh, tens of thousands of hours have gone into this, and this is why how it's first presented, what the payoff for, I mean, all of this support, all of this time, what that payoff will look like, that is why it is so important to me that I make a good first release. Because some people will see it for the first time as well. Some people aren't along for the journey, they don't know the time, they don't know that. And if they're unimpressed, that would kind of fucking suck, right? So, I want to make something that I'm certain is the best for the final version of the game. Props it up. Not some alpha structure that I kind of have to truncate. Um, and yeah, I do this mostly by myself. I get some writing help. I get help with the music. Oh, bottle cap. I didn't know that was back there. I get help with the music. I get help with the writing. Um, vocalists, voiceovers, talk with a lot of people about it. But I do it mostly myself. I've done all the art myself so far. I've done all the coding myself so far, all the gameplay thoughts, the story premises. Um, this is a project that is really it's extremely mine. It is extremely mine. And it's been my brain baby for nearly 5 years at this point. And Alpha One was in development for almost 3 years, maybe 3 years, maybe even a little more. I'm not entirely sure. Certainly, some of the stuff that's going into the alpha has been done for 3 years. Crazy. It's crazy to work on something so long like that. You put a lot of your heart, energy, thought into it. I mean, there hasn't been a day where I haven't thought about Fatsona. It is so important to me. I cannot overstate how important this game is to me. So it's not easy to talk candidly about, I don't know, in some respects failing to give the project what I thought it needed. But part of always thinking and always caring about something is that sometimes you get some thoughts that you can't ignore, and you get some clues on how to do something better, how to be better, and how to give back to people who have given you a lot. So, with that, I hope that there's a little bit more understanding on what's going on. It's my ultimate goal here. I just wanted to give a little understanding. Um, like I said at the top of the video, let's 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 be a little personable here, you know. Let's give a little trust, give a little bit of myself because I've given a lot of myself to this project. And man, I care a whole hell of a lot. Um, there were some really dark times when I realized that Alpha 1 wouldn't be happening. I went through a lot. And there is a bit of a hesitation. Still, I'm going to be honest. Since it's been in motion, since I've known it's right, there's still bad feelings about it. But those bad feelings originate from a place of wanting to deliver and wanting to give back. And I know that the way things are headed, it's gonna it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. Those feelings are gonna be met and exceeded. So that's that's Fatsona Alpha One's story in 2025. A lot of plans, a lot of work, and ultimately nothing for you guys to see with it. And I apologize with that. But um, this evolution of the update, Fatsona Breakout A1, I'm very happy with how it's coming along. Um, and it's not like Alpha 1 is dead. Everything that I made for Alpha 1 is going into this other update. So it's not like I'm starting over or anything, which might kind of be the vibes that have been implicated. But yeah, I'm gonna be a little more careful about information, especially with release dates, and drumming up hype and attention. Uh, when it's done, you guys will probably see it, and this puts the development server in an odd place because I don't really want to showcase too much. I've shown a couple things off since I said that I don't want to reveal too much, but it'll probably keep going like that where it's kind of dormant a little bit. But thank you, computer. I think that if you're to take away three things from this video, it would be one, Matrek is a slow talker and his voice is fucked. Why is his voice fucked? What is going on? He's keeping stuff from me. I don't like this guy. He's untrustworthy. He smells bad. He's sweating. So that's the first takeaway. The second takeaway is that I care about this project and I care about the support that's been given to it. I'm not being lax about the project or about the support that's been given. I think about it literally all the time. It is front and center. It motivates everything I do. Um, Both the project and the uh, community around the project, the orientation of my work around the project, and the support. that's been given to the project that influences all of that. So, um, it is important to me, and I'm careful about. I like to think that I carefully think through things. I don't want to give the impression that these decisions I make are careless, or whenever I talk about the game, it's careless. Um, because I care a lot. I care an extreme amount. Um, and number three, though maybe this has been a bit melodramatic, I am excited, and I am really, really looking forward to the eventual release of A1, and I think that you guys will get it. I think that at the end of the road, we'll be able to look back on the trepidation that Alpha 1 faced and see that all of the decisions that were made were worth it, and it was all worth it, and I think you guys will get it because it's a long story game. Fatsona Breakout is going to be 30, 40, maybe 50 hours long, and it it needs a level of attention to the release and the impressions that it gets, and the sentiment that it gets that wasn't clear to me when I set out to do this alpha nearly 3 years ago. So, um, I'm sorry about I'm sorry about disappointing, but I hope to make it up with delightful stuff and give back to you guys for all that you've given me. And this is everything that you've given me. This is everything you've given me, except for that Morgana back there, because my girlfriend gave that to me, and so also the chicken and the Haru and the Lugia too. You guys didn't give that to me. You guys didn't give that to me. Or the cards in the back, like those four. You guys didn't give that to me. Or the desk. You guys didn't give me the desk. But yeah, just about everything else. So I'm extremely thankful for you guys. Um, and I want to do better for you guys. I want to start showing stuff that I've been working on, that I've been pouring my heart into, and I want you guys to start enjoying the fruits of my labor and fuck the fruits of your own labor if you do give me money, because it's kind of what I'm paid to do. At least that's how I feel. I don't really see myself as just an artist. This is kind of my primary passion. So I hope that I can start to convey that a little more, and maybe you guys can see the Matrack vision, see the way I see it. But uh, proof is in the pudding, and I'm at a spot with it where I don't really want to talk about it until I guess the pudding is ready. So uh, I guess just stay hungry for some pudding, cause I'm gonna be putting out pudding sometime soon, you know, and hopefully it's really, really, really fucking good pudding, and better than crummy Fatsona fake out alpha nun slop pudding. Am I right? Am I right, fellas? Guys, thank you for watching. This is such a rambly video. I'm gonna watch it back and I'm gonna get so irritated with myself, but I appreciate you sticking through if you watched it. Um, and peace out. I'm gonna go take a throat lozenge. Uh, but in all seriousness, I really appreciate you guys, and I'm gonna keep I'm gonna keep at it. I'm gonna keep working hard on this, and I'll have something to show sometime. And I think you guys will get it. So, um, this has been Matrack. This has been Matrack with the nastiest, raspiest, fucking crunchiest voice you've ever heard. Um, and peace out, guys.